The Galactic Federation was in chaos. Entire economies teetered on the brink of collapse, and panicked species scrambled to ration dwindling resources. Inside the Federation's grand chamber, a towering Klyvorn with molten gold scales slammed his clawed fist onto the table, rattling a holographic display of dire financial statistics. "This crisis is unsustainable," bellowed Captain Jarnock, his molten eyes glowing with frustration. "Trade routes are barren, planetary reserves are empty, and entire colonies are starving." The other alien delegates murmured in grim agreement, their diverse forms reflecting their collective anxiety. A crystalline Veltranix named Velix stood with perfect composure, their golden facets refracting light like shards of a broken star. "We must investigate the causes of this collapse," Velix intoned. "But first, we must address the anomaly." The murmuring stopped. All eyes turned toward a single figure sitting comfortably at the far end of the chamber. Marcus Graham, the human representative, leaned back in his chair with a faint smirk, sipping from a steaming mug. His salt and pepper hair framed a face that looked entirely too relaxed for the occasion. "Anomaly?" Marcus asked, raising an eyebrow. "I prefer the term exceptional," Jarnock growled. "While the rest of us struggle to keep our economies afloat, humans are flourishing. Your people are vacationing on luxury moons, buying new starships and, he gestured wildly. "What is this thing you call a spa day?" "Sounds about right," Marcus replied, setting his mug down. "We do love a good spa day." The holographic display changed, now showing footage of humans across the galaxy. A family on Earth gleefully loaded a starship with supplies for a vacation on Mars. In a bustling trade hub, humans jostled for position in a line to buy the latest starship upgrades. On a resort moon, humans lounged by pools of liquid light, sipping brightly colored drinks, while alien servers buzzed around them. "Look at them," Jarnock roared, pointing at the holograms. "Spending like there's no tomorrow, as if this crisis doesn't exist." Velix's crystalline form flickered faintly. "We assumed humans were living beyond their means, but they show no signs of financial collapse. Their spending habits suggest resilience. This warrants investigation." Marcus leaned forward, a playful glint in his eyes. "You want to know our secret?" Velix's edges sharpened. "Indeed." "Rainy day savings," Marcus said, his grin widening. "And retirement funds." The room erupted in a cacophony of alien voices. "Rainy day savings? Retirement funds. What nonsense is this?" Velix raised a crystalline hand, silencing the chamber. "Explain," Velix said, their golden facets glinting with curiosity. Marcus stood, adjusting his suit jacket, and began to pace. "Humans save for emergencies. It's a habit we picked up because, frankly, we don't trust things to go smoothly. Our history is full of disasters, recessions, wars, pandemics, you name it. So, we learned to plan ahead." "And this retirement fund?" Velix asked. Marcus chuckled. "That's the best part. We set aside money throughout our lives so we can stop working when we're older and enjoy ourselves. The funds grow over time, thanks to compound interest. By the time we retire, we've got enough saved to live comfortably, and apparently enough to outspend entire alien species." The chamber fell silent as the weight of Marcus's words sank in. Velix gestured toward an aide, who quickly pulled up financial records from human systems. The data projected into the room sent ripples of crystalline flickers, glowing tentacles, and reptilian growls across the chamber. A single human's retirement fund dwarfed the combined wealth of multiple Federation planets. "This cannot be accurate," Jarnock hissed. Marcus shrugged. "It's not just accurate, it's typical. Most humans plan for decades of retirement. We call it living the dream." Velix's crystalline edges darkened with astonishment. "You mean to tell us that while the galaxy descends into economic chaos, humans have been prepared?" "Yup," Marcus said, popping the P with an infuriating grin. "And thanks to our savings, we've been able to keep spending, stimulating the economy, as it were." The Galactic Economic Council reconvened the following cycle, their holographic chamber glowing faintly as alien delegates murmured over the startling revelations about humanity's financial practices. Velix, the crystalline Veltranix, stood at the center, their angular edges reflecting a faint gold hue of curiosity and suspicion. "We must confirm the validity of these claims," Velix said, their voice sharp. "If what Representative Graham says is true, humanity's economic resilience could hold the key to stabilizing the Federation." From his seat at the edge of the chamber, Marcus Graham looked up from his datapad with a smirk. "You're welcome to dig through our records," he said, casually spinning his mug of coffee in his hands. "Though I warn you, financial spreadsheets can be overwhelming." Jarnock, the Klyvorn captain, growled lowly. "Spare us your smugness, human. Your people spend like fools, yet you claim to be prepared for crises. Explain yourself." Marcus stood, adjusting his jacket. "All right, let's start with the basics. Humans save money. A portion of every paycheck gets set aside for future emergencies. That's what we call rainy day savings. And then there's retirement funds. Those are investments we make throughout our lives to ensure we can stop working someday and still enjoy life." "Enjoy life?" Zyla Rinth, the Assyrian economic analyst, asked, her glowing tentacles rippling with skepticism. "You mean to say you plan for decades of inactivity?" "Not inactivity," Marcus clarified. "Relaxation, exploration, hobbies. You know, fun stuff. Retirement is the reward for decades of hard work." "And this works?" Velix asked, their facets flickering faintly. Marcus grinned. "Better than you'd think. Those funds grow over time thanks to something we call compound interest. It's like planting a seed that grows into a tree, only the tree is made of money." Velix's crystalline aide projected a series of holographic charts into the chamber. The visuals were staggering, graphs comparing human retirement accounts to the total planetary reserves of Federation worlds. The data showed a single mid-level human worker possessing more financial resources than some entire alien economies. "This is absurd," Jarnock rumbled, his molten gold scales glowing with indignation. "How can one individual hold so much wealth?" "It's not wealth," Marcus corrected. "It's preparation. There's a difference. Humans don't hoard money to flaunt it. We save it to survive and thrive. A lesson we learned the hard way after centuries of recessions, wars, and economic instability." The chamber buzzed with whispered conversations as alien delegates struggled to process the concept of saving for the future. Zyla Rinth, the Assyrian, tilted her translucent head thoughtfully. "Your species evolved under conditions of scarcity, did it not? How did this lead to such meticulous planning?" Marcus leaned back, arms crossed. "Survival instinct, plain and simple. When your history is full of unexpected disasters, you learn to expect the unexpected. Think of it as evolution, financially speaking." Velix's crystalline form glinted faintly. "Yet this level of preparation suggests obsession. Surely this is not universal among your people." Marcus laughed. "Oh, trust me, there are humans who blow their paychecks the moment they get them. But on the whole, we're a species that loves safety nets. Whether it's insurance, savings, or redundancies, we hate the idea of being caught off guard." As Marcus continued explaining human financial practices, the alien delegates began interjecting with increasingly bizarre questions. "So, you have a system that rewards you for waiting?" Zyla asked, tentacles twitching. "Essentially," Marcus replied. "And these funds can be used for anything?" Jarnock rumbled. "Well, within reason." Jarnock's molten eyes narrowed. "Could you, for example, spend an entire retirement fund on starships?" Marcus hesitated, then shrugged. "Technically, yes, but most people prefer to travel or relax." The room buzzed with murmurs of disbelief. Zyla whispered to Velix, "The humans are either geniuses or completely insane." Velix's crystalline edges darkened faintly. "Perhaps both." As the session concluded, Velix approached Marcus. "Your methods, though unconventional, appear effective," they admitted. "The Federation has no comparable system for ensuring individual security. This rainy day savings, may hold valuable insights. Marcus raised his mug in a mock toast. Glad you're starting to see the light. But don't worry, we'll help you figure it out. Humanity's pretty good at teaching people how to plan for chaos. Veltranix tilted their crystalline form, considering his words. We may require your assistance, Representative Graham. Marcus grinned. Thought you'd never ask. The Galactic Federation's Economic Council assembled once more, this time with Marcus Graham at the center of an impromptu workshop. Surrounding him were holographic displays of human financial systems, savings accounts, retirement plans, and something called a 401k that had the aliens utterly baffled. This is preposterous, Jarnock growled, his molten gold scales flickering. You expect us to believe that humans willingly part with their earnings to store them away for decades? Marcus smirked, sipping his ever-present coffee. It's not parting with money, it's investing it. We let it grow so we can enjoy it later. It's called planning. Veltranix, the crystalline Veltranix, tilted their angular form toward a holographic projection of a human savings chart. And this, compound interest? It multiplies your savings? Exactly, Marcus replied, flipping to another chart. The longer you let it sit, the more it grows. Think of it like planting a money tree. The room fell silent as the delegates tried to process this alien concept. Zyla Rinth, the Osirian economic analyst, hovered near Marcus, her glowing tentacles rippling with curiosity. And this retirement, she asked, is a universal human goal. Pretty much, Marcus said. Work hard, save smart, retire happy. And humans retire to pursue leisure? Zyla's tentacles curled in confusion. My species does not understand the concept of voluntary inactivity. We work until we expire. Marcus raised an eyebrow. That's bleak. Jarnock interjected, growling. This so-called retirement is frivolous. Surely these funds would be better spent bolstering the Federation's failing economies. Marcus shook his head. Short-term spending doesn't solve long-term problems. Saving creates stability, and stability creates growth. Veltranix's crystalline facets glimmered faintly. Humans appear to have mastered the balance between immediate needs and future security. Perhaps we could learn from this. Marcus decided to demonstrate human financial planning using a Federation simulation. A holographic screen displayed a simple budget spreadsheet, and Marcus handed out glowing data pads to the delegates. All right, let's try this, Marcus said. You're a hypothetical Federation worker earning 50 galactic credits a cycle. How much do you spend, and how much do you save? Veltranix stared at their data pad, tapping cautiously. We allocate all 50 credits to immediate needs. Marcus sighed. That's your first problem. Try setting aside 10 credits for emergencies. Jarnock, squinting at his screen, growled, If I save 10 credits, I cannot afford my molten spice rations. Maybe cut back on luxury expenses, Marcus suggested. The Klyvorn captain roared indignantly. Molten spice is not a luxury. It is a necessity, Zyla whispered to Veltranix. Humans are maddeningly pragmatic. Veltranix's facets flickered faintly. And yet, their system works. During the exercise, news broke of a new economic disaster. A Federation trade hub had experienced a catastrophic failure, leaving dozens of member worlds without critical supplies. The delegates erupted into panic, each shouting about the need for immediate relief. We must allocate emergency funds, Jarnock roared. We have no reserves left, Zyla countered, her glowing tentacles curling in frustration. Marcus raised a hand. Relax, people. Let me show you how humans handle a crisis. He tapped his datapad, pulling up a hologram of Earth's emergency response systems. See this? Our governments and citizens keep reserves for exactly this kind of situation. Rainy day funds, relief programs, insurance policies, they're all designed to stabilize chaos. Veltranix tilted their crystalline form toward the display. And you believe such a system could be implemented Federation-wide? With the right leadership? Absolutely, Marcus replied, grinning. And lucky for you, I know a guy. Inspired by Marcus's presentation, the Federation began experimenting with human financial systems. Veltranix spearheaded the effort, working closely with Marcus to design a galactic savings program. Aliens across the Federation struggled to adapt to the concept of delayed gratification, but Marcus remained patient. "Think of it as planting seeds for a better future," Marcus explained to a skeptical Jarnock. "Sure, it's tough now, but when the crisis is over, you'll thank me." Jarnock grumbled, but begrudgingly adjusted his financial habits. Months after Marcus Graham's financial intervention, the Galactic Federation launched its first-ever Universal Savings Initiative. Dubbed the Galactic Stability Program, it introduced concepts borrowed from humanity's economic playbook: emergency funds, retirement accounts, and the revolutionary, to the aliens, idea of compound interest. Veltranix, the crystalline Veltranix, now served as the program's overseer, working closely with Marcus to ensure its success. In the Federation Council chamber, Veltranix presented the latest progress reports. "Initial participation rates among member species are promising," they said, their golden facets shimmering. "Even the Klyvorn, despite their resistance, have begun setting aside credits for emergencies." Jarnock growled from his seat, his molten gold scales flickering. "We did not need your meddling, human. Yet, my people have experienced a noticeable reduction in financial stress." "You're welcome," Marcus replied, grinning over his coffee mug. As the Federation began to stabilize, alien delegations turned their attention back to humanity. Holographic projections once again displayed humans indulging in their peculiar luxuries. Families vacationed on terraformed moons, fleets of shiny starships crowded Earth's bustling trade hubs, and intergalactic resorts were booked solid with human tourists. Zyla Rinth, the Osirian economic analyst, hovered near Marcus, her glowing tentacles rippling with curiosity. "Your species thrives in ways that defy logic," she said. "Even now you spend freely, yet your reserves remain untouched." "That's the beauty of good planning," Marcus replied. "When you're prepared, you don't just survive, you live." As humans continued sharing their financial expertise, Federation species began to embrace new habits. Alien workers, once accustomed to spending every credit as soon as it was earned, now proudly displayed their growing savings accounts. The Osirians, once skeptical of retirement, established the galaxy's first alien pension plan, which Zyla humorously dubbed Tentacle Treasure. The Klyvorn, notorious for their extravagant tastes, began experimenting with scaled-back spending. Jarnock, begrudgingly taking Marcus's advice, invested in a Federation bond program. When the investment yielded a modest profit, Jarnock begrudgingly admitted, "Perhaps humans are not entirely foolish." With newfound financial stability, the Federation economy rebounded. Trade routes reopened, resource shortages eased, and prosperity returned to member worlds. Veltranix, standing alongside Marcus in the council chamber, addressed the delegates. "Thanks to Representative Graham and the human financial model, the Federation has not only survived this crisis, but emerged stronger. We owe humanity a debt of gratitude." Marcus raised his mug in a mock toast. "All in a day's work. Though if you're feeling grateful, I wouldn't mind a lifetime supply of Federation coffee. Your beans are out of this world." The chamber erupted in laughter, the tension of previous months finally giving way to relief and camaraderie. In the final scene, Marcus visits an Osirian trade hub, where aliens of all species queue at a newly installed galactic savings kiosk. A young Grixlian worker, his furry form bouncing with excitement, eagerly deposits his first credits into an account labeled Emergency Rainy Day Fund. Nearby, Jarnock approaches Marcus, holding a datapad displaying his retirement portfolio. "Your methods have merit, human," the Klyvorn admitted gruffly, "though I still find the idea of relaxation perplexing." Marcus chuckled, patting Jarnock on his massive shoulder. "Stick with it. One day you'll thank me when you're sipping lava ale on a luxury moon." As Marcus walked away, sipping his coffee, the camera panned to a holographic display showing the Federation's flourishing economy. A small subtitle at the bottom read, "Inspired by Humanity."